Welcome to the NetSuite overview. I'm going to take on the role of an executive to help introduce you to the power of our platform and explain how thousands of companies, just like yours, leverage NetSuite to increase their visibility into all areas of the business and complete key tasks more efficiently, all by securely accessing their data from anywhere at any time. Before implementing NetSuite, most companies face a similar set of business challenges, the first of which is a disparate systems architecture. In other words, using a lot of separate applications or solutions in their various lines of business that have little or no communication between each other. This approach increases the likelihood of errors, wastes a ton of time, all while decreasing the visibility since the systems don't talk. We see a second common challenge when businesses look to scale. At this stage, internal controls, SOX compliance, and automating manual month-end procedures become essential. To help companies solve these problems, NetSuite developed an integrated business solution based on the knowledge of leading practices that was gathered by working closely with our customer base over the last 20 years. With NetSuite's cloud-based architecture, information is always right at your fingertips, is always real-time, and is always drillable, providing unmatched visibility into your business. Furthermore, NetSuite scales with your business as you need it. So if you're planning to expand globally, that could mean leveraging NetSuite to manage international taxation or statutory reporting, something that we can roll out very quickly. Or if you're looking to capitalize on a new sales channel or develop a new product line, you can spin up a new segment in your chart of account structure very quickly to manage unforeseen reporting needs. Let's take a look at this in action. With NetSuite, I can securely access my data anytime, anywhere, on any device. All I need is the internet. I'm able to use any browser on either a Mac or a PC. NetSuite even offers a free mobile app, which I use almost daily to do things such as approve purchase requests or view my dashboard. Makes it very easy to stay connected in today's fast-paced environment. The first time that I logged into NetSuite, I was amazed at how there was already a complete set of roles, dashboards, KPIs, and other reports, which really cut down our time to implement and allowed my team to recognize the value of an integrated system a lot sooner. NetSuite was pre-configured based on the feedback garnered from thousands of companies that run their businesses on the NetSuite platform. You can take advantage of this best-in-class foundation too, but of course you can still tailor the system to make it your own. You just don't have to start from scratch. NetSuite uses the same security used by global financial institutions, so I can rest assured that my data and business are safe. The fact that NetSuite handles this level of security for me was actually a huge cost savings, considering the amount of IT resources I needed to simply manage the data security and disaster recovery plan for my legacy applications. So really, the first two benefits to me before I even look at the system are that it's accessible anywhere and it's secure. Now, NetSuite's a role-based system. I'm currently logged in my role of executive. My role defines exactly what I can see and do within the system. Roles are based on a robust set of permissions and are the means by which we manage our segregation of duties. Each role comes with a pre-configured dashboard aimed at making users more efficient by providing the reminders, reports, and other links that are most relevant to the responsibilities of that role. Now, I'm convinced that there's not another ERP system out there that's as easy to navigate or as efficient at helping me facilitate my daily work than NetSuite is. There are several ways to find exactly what I'm looking for in the system. At the most primitive level, if all else fails, I have drop-down navigation menus. So if I want to enter or view customer invoices, I simply go to my Sales and Marketing tab, Sales and Invoices. To enter a new PO, I go to Expenses, Purchases, Purchase Order. Or if I want to run a financial statement, I go to my Reports tab. It's very intuitive to do all these things using the menu structure. I also use my recent records list quite frequently. Sometimes I need to get back to a transaction or a customer record or report that I was just reviewing, and this option makes it easy. NetSuite also lets me define my own shortcuts, so I'm always just a single click away from the parts of the system that I use most. This can be links to anything I want: reports, entry screens, lists or queries of data, or even external URLs. However, I typically don't use the menus that much because I've found there are a lot better options to get where I'm going. For instance, the global search. This is basically Google for NetSuite, where I can search across anything in the system. So if I type above the cloud, the system gives me a list of search results that match, which I can then drill into. If I want to narrow my search to just customer records, I can add a prefix to refine my results. I can also use numeric values, which makes it easy to navigate to a specific transaction, such as an invoice number. Here is above the cloud's customer record, which I just accessed using the global search. With NetSuite, I have a complete 360-degree view of everything I need to know about my customers, all in one place. On the Communications subtab, I have the entire history of all interactions my company has had with this customer, including emails, phone calls, meeting notes, and even file attachments. Now, when I'm asked to meet with one of our key customers, this is the first place I'll go to get caught up on all of our recent activity and the conversations we've had with them. I also have a listing of every single transaction with this customer and the ability to apply filters on the fly. So finding a list of all invoices during this quarter for a particular customer has never been easier. By storing my customers' contacts, my team knows exactly who to reach out to if a hot issue might arise. And last, on the Financials tab, NetSuite makes it very easy for me to review things such as the customer's current credit limit and their outstanding balance. But it doesn't stop here. Each customer also has their own dashboard, so I can quickly get a snapshot of their history and other key metrics, such as their monthly sales trend, which items they typically buy, or their average days to pay. Now remember, I got here using my global search, but the way I navigate through the system most is actually just based on information from my dashboard. My dashboard is a real-time, consolidated view of all the metrics that are most important to me. I can drill into any one of these figures to view the detail, giving me a better understanding of my business. As I mentioned earlier, each role comes with a pre-configured dashboard based on NetSuite's leading practices, but I can personalize it to really make it my own. I'm able to rearrange my dashboard by dragging and dropping each portlet where I want it. I can also add additional content to my dashboard, so if there's a particular report that I want to hone in on or monitor closely, I have complete control to put that in front and center where it's top of mind. If that metric is no longer important to me, I can remove it just as quickly as I added it. I even have the ability to define the layout of my dashboard, allowing me to fit more content on a single screen. Because of how easy NetSuite makes it to build and tailor dashboards, I gave my team the permissions to personalize their dashboard in whatever way worked for them. However, if you prefer to have more control, you can also publish and lock down the dashboards to ensure that your users are focusing on the metrics that you determine are most important. My reminders are unique to me and allow me to truly manage by exception. These are actionable links and can also be tied to automated email alerts. I have a few journal entries to approve, which I can review in one click. If I'd like more detail about a specific transaction, I can drill into it for a closer look. For instance, my monthly bonus accrual. We also use NetSuite's filing cabinet to attach supporting documentation directly to each transaction, making my review and our financial audits a lot more efficient. Additionally, every single record or transaction in NetSuite has a full audit trail, so I can always identify who created or edited any transaction using the system notes. So as you can see, my reminders tell me that I have something to do, and they give me a link to go do it. So now I'm no longer the one holding up period close with my untimely approvals. Once approved, not only are my reminders updated, but all of my financial metrics are as well. So the bonus expense from the journal that I just approved is already reflected in my total monthly expenses on my key performance indicators. Here I can analyze the KPIs that are most important to me as an executive. NetSuite delivers a ton of KPIs out of the box, but my team leveraged the ability to create custom KPIs too. Now I can view my business exactly how I want to. I'm also able to compare KPIs over time and can view a trend graph with a single click. My favorite's my financial scorecard, because I'm able to analyze my metrics across several time periods. If I wanted to modify this by adding or removing certain metrics or changing the date ranges in which I'm comparing, I can do it. I'm not a technical person by any means, but the system's easy enough to use that I can get what I want very quickly without the help of an IT resource. I even added a rule to dynamically highlight this value if it happens to fall out of my comfort level. Now everything is drillable, so if I click on my current ratio metric, I can see exactly how that's calculated. And if I want to drill down and investigate my payables amount, I can continue to drill all the way down to a source transaction, including any attached documentation. As an executive, I'm responsible for a lot of areas in my company, but I'm not worried about losing visibility into any one area because each of these tabs also has its own dashboard. So it's easy to keep an eye on things such as our board metrics or any other type of analytics that are important to our company. In addition to multiple dashboards, NetSuite included over 250 reports available on day one and several easy-to-use report building tools. So analyzing my business in the way that makes sense to me has never been easier. But what does this mean for your business? Well, for starters, you'll have greater visibility into all areas of your company, which can be used to do things like take advantage of market opportunities or help course correct operations much quicker than you could with legacy applications. The ability to dynamically drill down from your dashboard will increase your understanding of the underlying data, letting you make decisions faster. NetSuite will also increase your staff's productivity and will allow you to run a much more efficient organization by automating processes that have historically been very manual and time-consuming. Last, no system can scale with you like NetSuite can, making it the perfect way to future-proof your business.